Okay, let's unpack this. 13 seasons, 283 episodes.
Did a lot.
It really is. That's the massive world of supernatural we're trying to navigate today. I mean, you've got demons, angels, all sorts of monsters.
Folklore, nightmares, yeah.
Yeah.
Even gods and cosmic beings eventually.
But the real core, the thing holding it all together, it's got to be family. That, intense Winchester bond.
Definitely.
So think of this deep dive as your guide, sort of a curated map through those first 13 years.
Exactly. We've really gone through the source material, the big plot lines, how the characters change, the threats getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
Up to that point, season 13. And the idea isn't just to recap,
Yeah.
It's to pull out the key stuff, the essential bits, to make sense of the whole epic journey.
Yeah, a clearer picture. So whether you've been watching along since the start,
Hunting with them?
right, hunting, watching religiously, or maybe you're just curious about the whole phenomenon now, we're aiming to boil it down. Get to the core of what makes these seasons tick without getting totally lost in the weeds.
Just the crucial bits to grasp the scale of it all?
Insight, that's the mission. Pure, potent insight.
Okay, so picking up after those pretty huge events we talked about before,
Yeah.
season 3, that's 2007, 2008.
Right.
And it just throws you right back in, doesn't it? Dean's demon deal is hanging over everything.
Yeah, big time. He made the pact, and that clock is just ticking loudly. This season felt, I don't know, darker. Like the consequences were really starting to bite.
I think so, too. The fallout from opening the Devil's Gate, everything, it really starts to land. There's this sense of dread.
Definitely.
And we meet some key people, too, right? Ruby, Bella,
Yeah.
these morally gray characters.
Yeah, Ruby shows up and the kids are all right, saying she can help with Dean's deal.
That you're immediately suspicious, right? Like, what's her angle?
Totally. And then Bella. Bad day at Blackrock, the rabbit's foot. She just throws another wrench in the works. Shows that trust is fragile.
Yeah, that's a good point about Bella. It shows the threats aren't always, monsters with claws. Sometimes they're just people looking out for themselves.
Exactly. It makes their world way more complicated. And with Ruby, you just never stop questioning her. Adds this whole other layer of tension on top of Dean's countdown.
And what's really interesting in season 3 is how it digs into Dean's head,
Oh, yeah.
Like in Sin City, when he actually admits he's scared. That's big for Dean. Shows the vulnerability under the tough guy out.
It really does. It hits home, the personal cost. And you also see Sam getting more and more desperate to save him. What do you think drives Sam there? Is it just brotherly love, or is there more to it?
That's a good question. I think it's definitely the bond, obviously, but maybe also some guilt, responsibility,
Yeah.
given their dad's deal and everything.
Could be. It creates this intense dynamic, right? One brother facing the end, the other just fighting fate with everything he's got.
And season 3 keeps doing that supernatural thing, mixing the weird with the really personal stuff.
Like bedtime stories.
Yeah. Taking fairy tales and making them deadly. It reflects how twisted their reality is. And then you've got Red Sky at Morning with Bella's betrayal again.
Just hammering home that allies can be, well, unreliable.
Exactly. Even in what look like straightforward hunts, like fresh blood.
With Gordon turning into a vampire.
Right. You see those moral lines blurring again. Sam has to make this awful choice.
That's brutal. Forces him to confront what he's capable of.
And it really pushes that idea that monster isn't always a clear label in their world. Then you get a very supernatural Christmas, which is kind of sweet, but also really sad, looking back at their childhood.
Yeah, those glimpses of normal life, always overshadowed.
You feel the innocence they lost. And Malleus Maleficarum, with the witches and deals.
Yeah.
Ruby drops hints about being human once.
Planting more seeds of doubt. You're always wondering about her endgame.
Always. And a little dream of me. That's huge for Dean, confronting his own fears inside Bobby's dream.
It's like his whole internal struggle played out right there.
A real reckoning, but then totally different vibe. Mystery spot.
Oh, the time loop. Classic.
Iconic, right? It's dark comedy, almost. But what it does to Sam,
Brutal.
watching Dean die over and over, what do you think the trickster was trying to teach him there?
Maybe. Acceptance. Or maybe just how little control they actually have. It felt like this cruel preparation for the inevitable.
Could be. And then Jess and Bello, the siege at the police station. Ruby helped.
There's a huge cost.
Always a price.
Okay.
Nothing's free in their world. That episode really ramps up the stakes, the collateral damage.
Yeah. And you even get the meta Ghostfacers episode.
Right. a funny look at the whole ghost hunting thing, but
The danger's still real, like in Long Distance Call playing on Dean's grief.
Season 3 really weaves those standalones into the main dread about Dean's deal so well.
And Time Is on My Side, where Dean could choose immortality through dark means.
But he refuses.
Yeah. Says a lot about him, sticking to his humanity, even facing hell.
That refusal is key. And then, no rest for the wicked.
The end of the line!
Dean's deal comes due. He dies. Sam's reaction. It's just raw grief.
Devastating end to the season, really shifted the whole show. How did you feel seeing that the first time?
Oh, it was a shock. Gut punch.
Yeah.
You spend the whole season hoping they'll find a loophole, and then, nope, hellhounds.
Yeah. Set a new precedent, didn't it? Nobody felt safe after that.
Which leads us right into Season 4. Angels Fall, Seals Break, 2008-2009.
The title says it all.
Big time. The whole mythology changes. Dean's resurrection isn't just, poof, he's back. It's tied to angels. Heaven, the apocalypse.
Talk about raising the stakes. Dean literally claws out of his grave in Lazarus Rising.
Amazing opening.
And bam, there's Castiel. An angel. In a trench coat. That just blew the doors off the show's universe. Suddenly it wasn't just demons and ghosts. There was this whole other cosmic war happening.
Exactly. A quantum leap in the mythology.
Yeah.
And then, are you there, God? It's me, Dean Winchester. That episode deals with the weight of their past failures.
The ghosts of people they couldn't save.
Yeah. Raises big questions about guilt, divine judgment, all of it.
And Cassie just keeps dropping these bombshells, sending Dean back in time. In the beginning,
To see the deal Azazel made with Mary.
that changes everything about their origins, makes the personal stakes even more tied up in this huge celestial plan.
And at the same time, you've got Sam developing his demon powers in Metamorphosis.
Right, which creates this massive rift between the brothers. Dean just can't handle that side of Sam.
It highlights how different their approaches are becoming. Do you think that split was inevitable, given everything they'd been through?
Probably. Yeah. So much trauma, so many messed up choices on both sides. Their paths were bound to diverge, and Sam's powers were, well, they were the catalyst for a lot of distrust.
Season 4 also had some really creative episodes, didn't it? Like Monster Movie.
Oh, the black and white one. Loved that.
Brilliant homage. And Yellow Fever. Dean terrified of everything.
Hilarious. And the Eye of the Tiger lip sync at the end.
Yeah.
Pure gold. Needed moments like that with all the darkness building.
Definitely. But even those lighter moments often still underline the danger. Like witches breaking seals in It's the Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester.
And Cass is always there with these grim warnings about the apocalypse.
It's like the show keeps reminding you, don't forget the big picture. Even in the Monster of the Week stuff.
Yeah. Even wishful thinking where wishes go wrong adds to that sense of things unraveling. Then Ruby's back in. I know what you did last summer. Still shady.
And we meet Anna, who can hear angels, adds more players to the board.
And Heaven and Hell reveals Anna's a fallen angel herself. So that conflict just keeps escalating. Season 4 really broadens the whole supernatural world.
Even the human horror, like in Family Remains, that was disturbing in a totally different way.
Yeah, a reminder that humans can be monsters too. Then you get the magic episode, Chris Angel is a douchebag.
Yeah. Fun title.
And After School Special, going back to their old high school, that hit hard, seeing their past trauma.
Sex and violence.
Yeah.
With the siren turning them against each other. That really tested their bond. It did. And Death Takes a Holiday, with Alistair torturing Reapers, leads to Sam using his powers again, which is always risky.
Then On the Head of a Pin, that's a huge one.
Monumental. Dean torturing Alistair and finding out he broke the first seal in hell.
Devastating. For Dean, for the whole apocalypse plotline.
It only changes his understanding of his own role. Then you get weird ones like, It's a Terrible Life.
The Office Job AU.
Yeah, the angels testing him. Shows how important their hunter life actually is, even with all the pain.
And the monster at the end of this book. The meta episode with the supernatural books and Chuck the Prophet.
So clever. Blurring the lines between their reality and, well, the story being written about them.
And then the Adams showing up in Jump the Shark, their half-brother.
Which seems like a family reunion, but then, nope. Ghoul twist. Dark.
There is dark twists.
Highlights the messed up Winchester legacy again. The Rapture gives us Kaz's vessel, Jimmy Novak's backstory, shows the human cost of this angel war.
Yeah, that was important.
And the season ends with Sam really struggling with the demon blood in When the Levee Breaks, and then choosing to go after Lilith.
Setting up the final seal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which throws us straight into Season 5, The Apocalypse Unleashed, 2009-2010. Now it's not just coming, it's here.
Yeah, the stakes are just cosmic, global.
Right out of the gate, sympathy for the devil, Lucifer is free.